What do you do when life looks perfect on paper but feels hollow inside? Layla had the promotion, the apartment, the tidy plan, yet an ache persisted. One evening she tried 10 mindful breaths. That tiny pause didn't fix her finances or friendships, but it began to change how she met those things. That shift is the heart of the Buddhist answer to meaning. Buddhism begins with a diagnosis, the Four Noble Truths. First, life includes dukkha, not just suffering in melodramatic terms, but the basic unsatisfactoriness or stress that comes from wanting permanence in an impermanent world. Second, dukkha has causes, mainly craving and clinging born of ignorance. Third, ending dukkha is possible. Fourth, there is a path, the Noble Eightfold Path, that leads away from suffering. This is not abstruse theology, it's a practical map. A few core concepts make that map usable day to day. Anicca, impermanence, reminds you that feelings, jobs, and relationships change. Seeing that weakens frantic grasping. Anatta, non-self, teaches that the I is a changing flow of processes, not a fixed condemning thing, so painful moods are events, not verdicts. Pratitya samutpada, dependent origination, shows how suffering arises through predictable conditions. Understand the chain, and you can interrupt it. Karma here is simple cause and effect. Intentional actions shape future conditions. Shunyata, emptiness, frees you from rigid essences and widens compassion. The Noble Eightfold Path. Right view, intention, speech, action, livelihood, effort, mindfulness, concentration is the toolkit for aligning thought, choice, and action. 3 trainings hold the system together. Sila, ethical conduct, samadhi, concentration, steadiness of mind, and prajna, wisdom. Ethics steadies life, concentration trains attention, wisdom reveals how things are. Meaning grows where these 3 meet. What does practice look like? Layla's 10 breaths were a micro-samadhi. From there she added accessible habits that actually change experience. Mindfulness, sati. Notice sensations, thoughts, emotions without immediate reaction. When loneliness surfaces, name it and watch it shape. Naming interrupts reflexive responses. Loving kindness, metta. A brief practice of wishing well. May I be safe, may I be peaceful. First to yourself, then to others. Metta softens isolation. Insight, vipassana. Observe impermanence. Notice how feelings rise, peak, and fall. Repeatedly witnessing this weakens identification with transient states. Ethical attention. Choose speech and action that reduce harm and align with your values. Small moral choices, steady meaning. Community, sangha. Practicing with others or under guidance keeps effort honest and sustainable. Here are micro-practices you can start tonight and keep simple. A 3-breath check each morning before your phone and name 1 intention. A stop and name during the day when strong emotion arises. A 1-minute metta at midday. A 2-line evening reflection. Today I noticed. Today I chose. And 1 weekly ethical act that costs you something small, like time or convenience. Why do tiny things matter? Because Buddhism reframes meaning from a prize to a practice. Meaning appears when attention is trained, compassion is cultivated, and actions align with wisdom. It doesn't promise comfort-free living. It promises a steadier way of meeting loss. Layla still faced job changes and drifting friendships, but she stopped reacting as if each setback defined her. Her days acquired texture and depth, meaning returned as method, not miracle. Try a 30-day starter, the 3-breath morning, 3 stop and names during the day, and 2-line reflection each night. Expect clumsy starts and boredom. That's part of the work. Over weeks you'll notice attention lengthening, reactivity thinning, and a quiet resilience growing. Meaning from a Buddhist view isn't something you capture and hoard. It's the way you attend, the kindness you extend, and the wisdom with which you respond to impermanence. Start small, be patient, and let steady practice do the heavy lifting. In the doing, life becomes meaningful, not because the world cooperates, but because you learn to meet it with an awake heart that cares.